The vast American state of Alaska is one of the most sparsely populated areas in the world, with just over 600,000 people living there. The state sport is sled dog racing, and every year its frozen wilderness plays host to mushing's most prestigious race, the Iditarod. It's a grueling 1,000-mile journey from Anchorage to Nome. This year's race gets underway on the 4th of March. Once again, mushers will do battle not only with each other, but also with the treacherous weather conditions out on the frozen plains.
Every year is different. Even if it's the same boring mushers, it's never the same boring trail. It's never the same boring outcome, you know? I think that's one of many things that keeps you coming back, you know?
Born and raised in Alaska, 39-year-old Lance Mackey has made the race his own over the last few years.
Good morning, gentlemen. Hi, Brooke. You doing okay? Doing okay?
A second-generation musher, Lance grew up around sled dog racing. Both his father and older brother were successful mushers.
Good stuff, huh? Here, gotta eat it. All the way.
In 1978, his father Dick won the Iditarod by 1 second ahead of Rick Swenson. It was the closest finish in the race's history. Lance's brother Rick claimed the title in 1983. It was only natural that Lance would attempt to follow in their footsteps. Having made his debut in the event in 2001, Lance knew that when he entered the race for the 6th time in 2007, wearing bib number 13, his time had come.
It was our 6th attempt, wearing bib number 13. My dad and my brother had both won the race on their 6th attempt, wearing bib number 13. That, to me, was... I don't even know the right word. It wasn't coincidence, you know. I think it was meant to be.
Despite having won the Yukon Quest, another grueling 1,000-mile race just 2 weeks before the start of the Iditarod, Mackey showed no signs of fatigue. He dominated the race from the outset. Lance made it to Nome with a winning time of 9 days, 5 hours, 8 minutes and 41 seconds. The victory saw him become the first man to triumph in both the Yukon and the Iditarod in the same year, a feat thought virtually impossible in the sled dog racing world.
I don't know that I can describe that feeling. You know, you're crying when you're laughing. You're laughing when you're crying. You know, the overwhelming feeling. I mean, it just like, you know, the blood rushes out of your face. You get tingly. Your hair stands up on the back of your neck. It was something that I'd never experienced before.
In 2008, Lance repeated his Yukon and Iditarod successes. Last year, he became only the 3rd musher to win the Iditarod 3 years in a row. Such achievements are all the more remarkable when you consider that Lance was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2001. He underwent extensive surgery and radiation therapy. It's left him without any saliva glands or a sense of taste.
I tried to start the Iditarod in 2002 with a feeding tube, with, you know, missing about 30 pounds. I was totally anorexic. I should not have. But mentally, that was what was going to keep me alive. I had to have a reason to get out of bed every morning. I had to have something to look forward to. It was pretty severe, you know. And in fact, when I went into the surgery, they told my family to say goodbye because they didn't think I was coming out.
Forced to quit the 2002 race at the halfway stage, Lance took the following year off to recover. Having had his left index finger surgically removed due to nerve damage suffered during his treatment, he continued to run his dogs, determined to make a full-time comeback to the sport.
A lot of my motivation and my drive was basically because of the cancer. Prior to having cancer, I didn't have much of a passion for anything or a care other than me. You know, 30 years old having cancer gave me a whole new outlook on life. I wasn't guaranteed the following day, let alone, you know, a month or a year later, and I had some things I felt I had to get accomplished. I just make sure, let's get more water.
Having beaten cancer and won both the Iditarod and the Yukon on numerous occasions, many assume that Lance will now be taking it easy. However, he's still determined to push himself to the limit, and he's got the backing of his wife, Tonya.
I don't worry about him too much. He's pretty fit in his element, and he's good at what he does, and he's very smart when it comes to the outdoors. You tend to find that your whole life is stressed out worrying about somebody if you don't just go with it.
In a sport where competitors travel at an average speed of 5 miles an hour on sleds weighing between 300 and 400 pounds, a musher's success depends heavily on how efficiently their team of dogs work together. Having been around dogs all his life, Lance is fully aware that the understanding he has with them is a crucial factor in his success.
I think the relationship that we have, the approach that we take. I'm not going to the Iditarod to race the Iditarod to win. That's a bonus. I want the 16 dogs that I started the race with to finish the race. I want them to be happy. I want them to be healthy, first and foremost.
Surrounded by 95 dogs on a daily basis, both inside and outside his home, it's safe to say Lance is very much a dog person. One of the favourites for this year's Iditarod, where he'll be aiming to become the first musher to win 4 in a row, Lance knows a lot of his fellow competitors will be gunning for him. And despite having already achieved so much in his sport, Lance Mackey remains hungry for even more success.
Absolutely. I'm as motivated now as I was the day I started. Unfortunately, my body's not holding up. You know, the cancer was an issue, and it's an ongoing problem still. But right now, I'm thinking 5 more years would be that'd be a great end to my career.
Yeah, good boy, Z. Huh? Yeah, good boy, Z. Yeah, you're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. You love him, huh?